Town Topics.
Welcome to Texarkana Town Topics. I'm Leanne Wilson. Joining us today is Cody Daly and William Holston with Legends Gym here in Texarkana to give us some holiday fitness tips and how we can avoid that holiday bulge before indulging. Thanks for joining us today.
Good to be here.
Well, overall, what can a person do to avoid overeating during the holidays?
It's kind of hard, when you see everything in front of you. But what we normally tell people is, eat till you're not hungry, not till you're full. In other words, enjoy some of the things, but at the same time, just don't overindulge in them because it's hard sometimes to walk away. But if you can walk away, it won't be quite so hard when January 1st gets here.
I've heard this said before that a person should just pick a day to enjoy themselves and then cut it off. Do you think that's a good idea, or would you have some recommendations on top of that?
Give yourself a cheat day, otherwise you won't stay on it. And if it's going to be that party you've got coming up Saturday, do good all week long, and Saturday go ahead and have at it.
Right.
Do you advise like drinking water before you go out at night, or to fill up that way, or what do you advise?
Well, not necessarily. Normally, we want people to drink water all through the day, but as far as the eating goes, we try to get them to eat more of the good stuff up front. Then they're not quite so hungry to eat the junk food instead of necessarily filling up with water. But if they'll do that more often, you see a lot of people that kind of snack when they're at a Christmas party and eat all the junk. When the good food gets there, they don't want to eat any of it. So, you hear a lot of people, I got fat off the turkey and dressing, but normally they got fat off all the other stuff, and they barely eat any turkey and dressing. So if they can eat the good stuff first, and then they won't be quite so hungry to eat the junk food.
What is the average weight gain during this time of the year?
Probably 10 or 15 pounds. It's normally, you have some that gain a little bit more, and then you have some a little bit less. But I think that in people's head, they feel like they've gained probably 50 pounds. I mean, they're ready to get it off when January gets here.
Well, 15 pounds can feel like almost 50 when
Yeah,
you've got
right.
it on. And it can be almost as hard to get off. What do you tell people when they come in, like at the first of the year, and they say, I've gained this weight, how do I get it off?
Consistency is everything. They'll just stick with it. They're going to get results. But 9 times out of 10, people aren't going to get results if they don't stick with it. And they're not going to stick with it if they don't get results. So it's kind of you stick with it, you're going to get results. And if you get results, you're going to stick with it.
So definitely stick with it.
But you're going to get the results if you do that.
You were talking to me earlier saying that many times people overwork with the first of the year.
Yeah. One of the biggest things we talk about if someone comes into a fitness center is, you're here now and you made the first step, but most people want results overnight, and because they feel like they got results overnight as far as getting overweight. But what happens, we tell them to come into and make a lifestyle, but they want to come in and overdo it. And I think that goes back to, say, in the early 70s and early 80s, people learned no pain, no gain, so they thought they had to give it 100% effort. And what happens, instead of energy level going up, it goes down. So, if people got energy increase when they worked out, they're going to stick with it. And when they tell you they're not working out anymore, it's because the energy went down, and it's because they did too much up front. We have people come in January, and they might as well bring a pup tent and camp out with us, because I'll see them doing aerobic class. They'll be back on the weights. They'll be doing the treadmill. And I ask them, I say, what are you doing? You saw me. I'm doing it all. They want it overnight, and they just don't stick with it. So we try to get people to look at the fact that if you do a little bit today, you'll stick with it because you'll feel good, and plus it'll fit into your lifestyle. Everyone's busy now, and no one has 2 or 3 hours to put into it anyway. So if you can put 30 minutes aside, 45 minutes aside, 3 days a week, you're going to stick with it. But if